Now, I do have some words written to introduce our next speaker. He's a man who's been floating around the room all evening with a great big smile on his face. But alas, I digress. It's the wonderful Tony J. Selimi, award-winning author, life strategist, and business coach specializing in human behavior. Please raise the roof for Tony!
Thank you. And another one for Ruby. And the last one for Dr. Pietro Emanuele Garbelli. First, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for showing up tonight and choosing to spend your night, your time, your energy, your love to support an incredible cause that Dr. Garbelli has worked extremely hard for the last 7 years to create. And it's just a joy to see all of you, friends, new friends, both people who know Dr. Garbelli, people who are in the profession, working for the NHS, and I would like to say huge thank you and join me for everybody who works here in healthcare for your love, for your commitment, dedication, and sacrifice you have done from the moment you chose your career. So some of you may know who I am, some of you may know Dr. Garbelli, but together we've been on this illuminating journey. And some of you see pictures on the internet where he's around the world with me, enjoying himself. But in actual fact, we spent about 10 to 12 hours every single day doing some incredible work to be able to bring to fruition this incredible book, The Doctor's Voice. And I see so many of you in here who've been part of this journey, writing your testimonials and supporting not only Dr. Emanuele Garbelli, but every person who works within NHS, but also the stakeholders who make the NHS whole. Yes, we all know there are problems, we all have problems, but the joy is when we actually come together into one voice and we solve those problems and we lift each other up so together we can have a better healthcare. So, how it all started, Emanuele came to me at his lowest in his life. And it is often when we are at our lowest that two things can happen. One, it's we become even more depressed, more suicidal, and withdraw, and we become lonely. But as the pain increases, we somehow build the courage to reach out for help. Now, you have to have that courage to make the first step. And often it is that first step, the most difficult step that I've seen in everybody I've worked in the last 12 years, personally, professionally, but also in their businesses. And it's a huge honor to be able to hold the space for those pains, for those traumas, for those frustrations, stresses to come along. And eventually, when people commit to something, suddenly you start to see the clear picture of why you're here. What is it that you want to contribute beyond oneself? And the journey I've been with Dr. Garbelli, it's about helping him heal the many different aspects to his pain, to his trauma, to his doctor's frustrations, personal life, relationship, and then see what is it that Dr. Garbelli's soul, intuition, voice wants to achieve. At some point, he wanted to give up the profession. And we have many doctors around the world who choose to give up. We have many doctors who lost their life to suicide. We have many doctors, incurring the pain, yet they show up at work with a smile because the patient needs them, because the family of that patient needs a voice of hope. So this book is very personal to me because I know the struggles of a lot of doctors, and I know what it took Dr. Emanuele to reach this point where you guys seeing him in this beautiful event, launching this wonderful book to the world, a big contribution to purposely transforming healthcare. And with that, I would love to invite Dr. Garbelli.
Buonasera. Good evening. Wow. It's amazing to see so many of you here tonight showing your support. It's even better than what I imagined. It's great to see so many people from all walks of life, doctors, nurses, managers, allied healthcare professionals, and everybody that doesn't work in healthcare. But there is something that we all share. Would you like to know?
Yes?
Let me ask you a question. Raise your hand if you agree. Whoever you are, whatever you do, your voice matters. Yes, thank you. So now that I have your attention, and forgive me for using prompts, I improvised myself as an event organizer, and that took a lot of work and a lot of time. So but I see that you're enjoying yourself, so it was definitely worth it. I would like to share some stories with you about what's behind the book, The Doctor's Voice, and the vision, Purposefully Transforming Healthcare. So, having completed my medical training in Milan and then specialty training in Florence, about 15 years ago, I came to London. And I wanted to find something better, so I took an unpaid job, and I started observing people and trying to understand how this wonderful NHS works. And you can imagine what it was like. Just imagine, out of the blue, your boss asking you a question to test your knowledge, and not having the language skills to be eloquent and express what you already know. How would you react? For me, it was daunting. I just became very shy, avoided contact. I lost my confidence, and I was very frustrated that I knew the answer and I didn't know how to interact. And this is just the beginning. It took lots of years of struggles and getting over those struggles, over those challenges to eventually become a consultant. And I thought, wow, I made it, and how wrong I was. All the troubles began then. I just thought, wow, it's like the English weather. We have 4 seasons in a day, like today. You start a day and you realize I have enough work for 24 hours and I have to fit it in 8 hours and nothing works, or almost. So probably a lot of you relate to that when that won't work in healthcare. But doing that day by day, year after year, I started doubting myself. I started thinking, have I made the right choice? I started thinking, maybe I should quit, maybe I should leave the thing that I really love, being a doctor. And that's when, fortuitously, I was introduced to Tony, who you just met, and he's been making me sweat for the last 8 years. He's not someone that gives you an easy journey, but we have fun together too. My first meeting was in Patisserie Valerie, and we just had a coffee and some scones, and I shared with him my frustrations, and the fact that at that time I was really thinking to leave the country, leave the profession, and I even considered becoming a Tantra teacher, you would believe. But that's for another story. By the end of the session, I saw a glimpse of hope coming, like a spark into a dark room. I mean, not that kind of dark room, though. Fast forward a few years, we were in between COVID waves, and the government had just opened up a safe travel corridor, and everybody was trying to get out and have some fun. Not me. I booked Tony for 5 days, Vital Planning, and we get into this lovely resort, 5-star hotel, beautiful beach, amazing weather, people sipping cocktails on the beach, and we close ourselves in a room for 5 days, working 10 to 12 hours a day, forgetting about the landscape. And at the beginning, I just vented all my frustrations. I didn't really know what to do. I felt stuck. The idea of a book came up, and I resisted it so much at the beginning. I thought, I'm not a writer, I'm not an academic. I read books written by others, but my experience is nothing special. What do I have to say that will help people? Really nothing. I felt worthless. But 5 days later, sweating and grilling, and I looked around the room, and it was literally covered with plastic sheets of plastic sheets, white plastic sheets, where we had written a lot of things with a marker. And that was the structure of the book you're about to read. And I was so grateful and inspired. All the struggles that I had overcome, all the hurt, all the pain, it was worth. It gave me skills and ideas that I could share with the world and help other doctors and people that work in healthcare or that work with healthcare. It was definitely worth it. That was just the start, obviously. The book didn't write itself. I had to use most of my annual leave during COVID, after COVID, and put a lot of effort in that. But when I received the first physical copy of the book, I thought, wow, it's no longer just an idea or a word on the wall. It's a physical product that is going to go in the world and inspire people and help other doctors and help everyone that works in healthcare and everyone that supports healthcare or uses healthcare. I see it as a precious conversation starter, for example. The core message of this book is the voices of empowered doctors matter in contributing to shape the future of healthcare. My aim, with your support, is to share medical thought leadership, ideas and strategies to get the conversation started between doctors and all the healthcare stakeholders. This is because I believe our collective voice can make a difference. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Please join me in raising your glasses to Dr. Garbelli. Woo!